You want to put a mask on and back off, man.
Mike has no tattoos.
Just another quick thing.
You get laser tattoos, man.
Yeah, this is a big case, guys. I want everyone to know in chat what's going on in this case, because there's a lot of people in here that don't know what's going on. First of all, Rust is being accused of Coop's Law. Coop's Law is a very, 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 very old law that was produced in the city before I even started playing No Pixel. Coop's Law essentially entails multiple capital level crimes occurring within a certain period of time. Now, this is an interesting one.
I meant confess to your innocence.
It doesn't really fit in this situation, but the government, which is like, OOC speaking, wants there to be a law that starts punishing people for hurting civilians, like consistently. You know what I mean? So what I think is going to happen, and this is what my opinion, what's going to happen. I don't know if it is, and I could definitely be wrong. They're probably not going to withhold Coop's Law in this case, but they're going to make a new law. I don't know, called like Rust Law or something like that, where if you start repeatedly attacking civilians, there will be a very steep punishment for it.
It does, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, opening when you're ready.
Your Honor, people of the court, distinguished guests. Today you will hear a case about how a conflict can go too far. In San Andreas, we're used to gang violence. We're used to the streets of our city's southern side being dangerous. But rarely do you hear of a gang carelessly targeting civilians.
It's a normal Tuesday, guys.
Just to attack their employer. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is becoming too common. Too common that our city's businesses and working class are harmed. Harmed because of what? Petty gang squabbles. This has a profound effect on our city's economy and its citizens.
Wait, gang
None
squabbles?
more guilty of this atrocity than the group known as Rust, led by defendant Raymond Romanoff. Today, you will hear a case that proves beyond a reasonable doubt that Rust, via the defendants, engaged in continuous, heinous, and intentional felonious violence that would result in the attempted murder and long-term suffering of several civilians. That they engaged in nearly 20 instances over the span of less than a week.
What?
Something needs to be done.
Wait,
and
what?
I hope that once our case is
20
brought forward,
instances?
Your Honor will agree that enough is enough. Thank you.
Yeah, one scene is like 5.
Huh.
Defense, you're opening.
Good work, Odessa. That's some fucking stat padding, man.
Oh my god, that is fast. These are mutton chucks.
Guys, please keep quiet.
Hungry. He's hungry for it.
Alrighty, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court. Today we stand here to defend the rights of Rust against a prosecution team that has conveniently left out critical aspects of the case, portraying it as a one-sided attack when in fact it is a two-sided feud between Rust and Cerberus, who just so conveniently employed members of the prosecution in their various affairs, but hey, that doesn't fit the PD's agenda here, so we'll swiftly move on. We firmly believe that the prosecution's heavy bias in this matter is resulting in sentencing requests for our client despite the existence of a clearly defined statutory time and fine written in the penal code. You must recognize that every feud has two sides, and each party involved plays a role in its development. By painting Rust as a sole instigator, the prosecution has distorted the reality of the situation.
She is so good at talking.
They intend to demonstrate that there are mitigating factors that have contributed to the actions of our client, factors that have conveniently been overlooked by the prosecution. In the end, we seek not only a fair resolution for our clients, but also the upholding of the principles of justice upon which this great state was founded. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for your openings. Prosecution, you may call your first witness.
We would like to call Miss Elfy Lyng to the stand, Your Honor.
Miss Lyng.
This is my first time meeting her. That's Elfy!
Keep stand in front of me, man. Stand in front of me, man.
Hold him back. I'm holding
over
back.
to my right, your left.
Just hate.
This is literally my
Yes, ma'am.
actually first time seeing her.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under penalty of perjury. So I'll help you, Coyle.
I've never seen this person in my life.
Man.
Witness has been sworn in, Your Honor.
Alrighty, do make sure that you are yelling from there. Can you please state your name and profession for the record?
My name is Elfy Lyng. I work at Roosters, Pornhub, and Hayes mainly.
Comedy club. Don't forget the comedy club.
Are you the member of any criminal street gangs?
No.
You are listed as a victim in the People's B. This was an incident starting with you gold panning. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
How did this incident start?
Sorry, you were the one that was caught with the meth table last week, right?
I was gold panning with my friend.
What started the incident whilst you were gold panning?
To my knowledge, nothing. There was no.
I don't understand why this keeps getting brought up. Like, I understand they want to build a pattern, but
Okay, and were you interrupted?
the 3 week ago incident is so interesting to me. I have no recollection of that.
All right, we'll move on to the People's C. This was an incident involving airplanes. Do you recall this?
Yes. That's my.
Was this a continuation of violence from the People's B?
I'm gonna piss myself.
By that, do you mean Russ?
I'm asking if it was the same assailants from the prior incident.
No, it wasn't,
Yes.
because Eugene was involved.
Okay.
Wait, that's actually a lie. Because Kate and Eugene and
I had to do it back
Milo.
and do it again.
Your statement following this
I guess
incident.
McGregor.
Do you recall where you were at prior to the incident?
Yeah, I was.
Yo, Violet, think
I
that
was
8-9 months.
And were you approached by the assailants?
Not initially. I went there to buy some food, and one of the people there was a Rust member.
Okay, and did you comment on their presence there?
There's no way. She's not going to say.
Attention leader.
It was.
Wait.
No rebuttal, I can reword.
All right.
Your statement from the People's C states that you identified one of the members of Rust and stated, "Oh, what was the reaction following that?"
He kept pushing me by what I meant by "oh," and he kept getting more and more aggressive.
Wait, what?
Okay, and did you attempt to leave that situation?
She stayed inside for 30
Yes,
minutes.
I tried to leave.
And what happened when you tried to leave?
Wait, I'm so sorry. What?
Initially or later.
Wait, is she just lying on
There
standard
were
right now?
two
Yeah, she is,
times that
yeah.
I tried to leave.
Yeah, she's capping on.
Wait, I'm
did
so
you attempt to leave from this
I'm
conversation?
so confused by these statements.
What did these individuals say to you?
They kept asking me what my issue was with them, why I didn't like them.
Wait, she actually said something that that's true right there.
At that point,
Russ asked why they had an issue with
my
her.
life was already in danger, and
Reply.
So she's lied a few times already on
Yes.
stand. Have you guys picked those up?
he also pulled out a gun and told me to come with her.
Where did she take you?
They drove me to a building. I forgot the name of the building, but it's the tall
Civilians
one.
not
I
liking
don't
Russ
know,
hurts
there's
Russ's
an
feelings.
elevator
Yep,
up here.
that's right, guys. Happy laugh. They're writing, guys. You
And
can tell they're writing notes.
Helipad on top.
I don't want to interrupt them.
Refused.
Oh my God, there's more people here now. Wait, Jesus. DOC and
Agitated.
What happened after that?
They placed us in cuffs again, and some time passed, and then the first plane came.
Planes? Are you talking about aircraft?
Yeah.
guys, can you stop laughing?
And what happened when this aircraft arrived?
Why are they laughing? Fucking bozos. I mean, yeah, it is funny,
The
but
plane
like,
tried to fly into us, but crashed into the building and fell to the ground.
You stated first.
why is everyone laughing in the
More?
corner?
Yeah, there were two more to come after that one.
And did the second one follow suit of the first?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
God damn it.
And what happened
Got mutton chop.
when that one made an attempt?
Unbelievable is that their ass is still a cop.
And the second one.
Oh my God.
Correct.
So I feel like I live in constant state of fear, not knowing if they're gonna come for me.
What?
Did you take time off of work
What?
at all because of this?
Bro, this is my first time ever seeing her.
Yes.
She's trying to get workers'
And
compensation,
was this
man.
due to
Wait,
your fear
Wait,
of your
what?
safety?
I've never met this
Yeah.
person.
All right, let me confer with my co-counsel, and then I'll be right back.
I'm so sorry. What did she just lie again?
Yeah.
All right.
Judge Cross is trying to get your attention.
Oh,
He
me?
wants you to look in his direction. Yeah. I'm not sure where he is, but
Bro, I hope she don't wear that on the daily.
Oh.
I swear to God.
My man Cross. My man.
Bro, I would
Are there any cops there?
My man. Hey. Hey.
You know,
Hey.
they were,
My man. My man.
they broke
My
off
man.
One final
chase, so there were definitely no people wearing any rust jackets. I bet you Vinny's just
All right.
laughing his fucking ass
Defense
off
Yep, that's it.
in
cross-examination.
all this.
Wonder what other people's reactions were to the point shit. Just ask why she was like fucking Beetlejuice.
Oh, we're back. Okay, wait. This is important, guys. Please keep it down. No.
sorry. Let me speak up for everyone. Hello, Ms. Lyng.
Hello.
They didn't get rid of B because
Um,
of such limitations.
Do you recall the events that occurred on March 31st?
No,
No? All right.
that was the first incident, right?
I believe so. At the time of the incident, did you report being able to identify any of the individuals that came for you and your friend?
I do not think at the time I had learned their names yet. No.
All right. And how did you figure out that they were a Rust member?
Fucking Jaeger.
He brought it up somehow. I don't remember exactly the words he said.
Carmine's here.
What did you do when you discovered he was a Rust member?
I said, "Oh," and
What else? Okay,
took that the wrong way.
I'm so sorry. She's lying on stand again.
After you
She did
made
not
the
only say "oh"
realization
in that
he
entire
was a
conversation.
Rust member,
That's not what led.
what did you do?
I continued trying to do my survey, and I tried to just move past it and not make a big deal about it.
Did you feel in fear for your life at that point?
I was definitely worried at that point, yeah.
But you chose to continue with your survey.
I felt like if I showed any disrespect, that it would end up worse for me.
Right.
What happened next?
He
Honestly, tell you she won't.
went into the back room without telling me why.
heard the names from somebody.
And
Oh my
I assumed he
God.
called for someone else. Because, like, a minute later, a Rust member, Kate Miles, shows up and wants to talk to me.
Many never mentioned Kate Miles.
All right,
Say-
so
say she
so you
left,
didn't want
trying to
to
leave.
leave the survey, but you didn't leave the restaurant when he ended the survey and went to the back?
Is that Elfy?
correct?
Yes, this is Elfy. This is the first time meeting Elfy. Sure.
Well, I did not think me trying to continue. I did not think it was going to lead to what it led to at that point. I just wanted it to be done with and over it. And
Wait, she's
no
lying. She said she was
disrespect
fearing
and,
for her life,
yeah,
and now
with
she
no
said that she
part.
didn't think it would turn out to be that way. Wait,
So you
What?
were nervous, but you were not
Oh, yeah.
nervous when he went to the back in the middle of the survey. Is that correct?
that's a good point.
Objection. Argumentative at this point.
Rebuttal, Your Honor. I'm just trying to understand where she felt in fear for her life and where she felt that it was safe to continue providing this survey to this member of Rust.
Restate the way you phrased the question.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
No. Just restate it for me one more time. Exactly what you said.
I will do my best. I don't have this question written down. I apologize. You stated that you were concerned when you realized he was with Rust. Were you not concerned when he left in the middle of the survey to go to the back?
Yes, indeed.
Am I free to answer?
No, hold on. I'm just thinking through something.
Doesn't sound argumentative. It's just
I don't think this qualifies as argumentative. I think if you were to ask
God, you sound like Gold
less of a question, I think it might be. But I think there's still enough room here for her to answer where the conclusion to what you're saying hasn't been put in the question. So I'm going to overrule the objection. The witness can answer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I was worried, so I asked him about it, why he went into the back room. But he told me to look on Twitter, so I pulled out my phone and I looked on Twitter, and he told me to look at his tweet that he just made. So I looked at it, and it was like 40 seconds ago. So I thought he just went into the back room to make a quick twat, and so I did not think that he would call any people over, and that we could just get through the survey and everything would still be fine.
Thank you. No more questions from me. Let me check with my co-counsel.
Do you consider yourself a civilian?
That would be a sidebar then for that.
What's going on?
Sidebar,
Sandbaz?
please.
Yep.
Okay.
Bro, this actually is a Rust meeting. What the fuck? Actual Rust meeting, bro.
Guys, you genuinely speaking, you guys need to keep it down during court so our fucking prosecutors and defendants can help us out, you know?
Okay, but they need to stop saying funny shit like the first playing
It's
game.
actually too funny, bro.
Okay, you guys are fucking idiots. Like, I can hear Prez over everyone. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah, Perez, man, you gotta stop shouting.
Bro, she
bro.
delivered it so well, right? She's like, and then the first playing game.
Stop it, you fucking idiots.
What do you want me to do? Like that was
Bro
so
got flashbacks.
I literally, I was laughing so hard. I stopped breathing. I almost blacked out standing there. It was unbelievable.
Bro,
You think about it,
bro, I'm
Shh. Let's go.
in the face of Rust, man.
All right. When you're ready, Mr. Hayes.
It's Celia.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, Madam Lyng, do you consider yourself a civilian?
Yes.
What?
Have you ever committed a felony?
Objection. Prejudicial. Full bit to that.
Oh shit!
Doesn't mean
A
that
judge in the
I'm
back
actually
was like,
legal.
"That's not an objection." Wait, is that the?
Rebuttal, Mr. Hayes. What's the value of this testimony towards me determining if your clients are guilty or not?
This is all about a violence towards civilians. I'm going down the route that prosecution took when they asked the witness about her gang affiliation.
Oh, true. That's a good
Or the
point.
lack of.
Actually, true. She did that.
When you say this is all about civilians, that is the narrative the prosecution is pushing, and that is why they are asking me to invoke Coops. But in terms of the strict reading of Coops, it actually doesn't distinguish between the people being targeted being civilians or criminals.
Wait, really?
I can kind of see it both ways.
Coops can be applied to anyone in the city then.
You some brief exploration of
Holy
your
shit.
comments about this person's record.
Even a gang war could be
and why
Coops.
that should hamper the prosecution's narrative. But it needs to be brief. We're not here to assassinate someone's character.
Of course.
You may proceed.
Do you have any felonies?
Assassinate Lyng.
I've been to prison, yeah.
Just to reiterate, 4 felonies.
You should have gotten a new lawyer. I have 3 lawyers, Sonny. And this is my
Objection,
lawyer.
Facts not in evidence.
That's a lawyer. That's a lawyer. I have a lot of lawyers.
He stated 4 felonies, but there's no evidence of such.
Not the number, Your Honor, not the number 4.
Oh,
As
she's asking
in-
for understood.
Oh, yeah, my apologies. Sorry, misheard.
Okay, overruled. So for the witness, Mr. Hayes is asking you if you went to prison for a felony.
I don't know what is meant by felony exactly.
A meth table is cooking drugs. It's
it's
usually a felony. Why does Bass look so ridiculous?
You may continue, Mr. Hayes.
Yes, I need to think about this real quick.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did they think about it? Didn't they just explain what a felony is?
Well, let's go on.
Guys in the dibby.
Have you ever heard
Like most
of
say,
a
they
group
crime.
called the Goon
So going
Squad?
to civilian then, bro? Like, what?
Objection relevance.
That's a good question. Why is this relevant?
I am still determining Madam Lyng's status in the community.
Then objection foundation.
Yeah, I don't. We're not.
Yeah,
We're not.
it's okay,
Yeah,
I withdraw.
let's-
It's
yeah,
just
let's
funny.
withdraw
I
that
give Ray death.
one. I don't know what is even being discussed at that point. So
Bro,
it's not.
people got
suitable
silence their
for
phones.
You can get it back later.
Fucking big ass mutton chop.
Are you,
Hey,
Bass? Are you fucking kidding me?
Dessa, you
turn it off.
have her phone. Just turn it
Bass,
off.
are you?
Stupid mutton chop, bitch.
Here, I get it to you.
There we go. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is.
Hey.
Maybe. It's already been taken off. You can have it.
We got this on camera.
Put him in the naughty corner, Crane. The naughty corner.
That's a crime against fashion right there.
I'm sure he'll call for help when he realizes what's going on. Okay, let's resume.
Fucking boy, that's
Oh my god, dude.
You mentioned Kate Mal.
big. Hey, somewhere waves, bro.
Is that correct? That is all for me. Let me please talk to my co-counsel.
She didn't remember anything about Rust members? So her evidence is that she got told it was Rust by a friend, which isn't that hearsay? Hey, guys, I'm a little bit confused. If she was told that
1 minute, Your Honor.
if she was told it was Rust by her friends, isn't that hearsay?
Hearsay.
Yeah, that's hearsay, yeah.
So she can't remember anything
said that
about anyone
multiple
from
times.
Rust?
We're gonna, we're gonna all
Both
break it up
situation.
in,
Okay.
Kiwi.
There he is.
Don't be that Lord Voldemort looking bitch.
All right, Brian, you want to give this
Silence
phone
your
back?
phone next time,
I think this is
bozo.
bad.
Trying, but I'm hanged up.
Yeah. You don't have a phone right now. Brian's got it.
Honestly, this is how it should be right here.
I'm sorry. What was that, Mr. Romanoff?
I said that Bash should be the one in cuffs.
Right.
All right, let's resume the question.
Good man.
Okay, let's go back to the
Dutch.
people's. See, same for the people's K. The alleged shooting and torture of Flash. Are you able to name whether any of the defendants were there?
No.
Wait, she can't name it.
He's cooking.
Price, will you shut the fuck up? So she can't remember that it was Rust members, but she's hearing that it's Rust members from a friend named Flash. The O. What did What did you react and say to Rust members in Rooster's Rest? I said O. Oh no!
We have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, any redirect based on the cross?
Yes, Your Honor. There was a discussion behind your intentions for staying after the individual went to the back room. Would you say that you were attempting to de-escalate the situation?
Definitely.
Did you feel that had you left or made any sort of sudden movements that it
Your
would
lawyers
have
aren't questioning
escalated?
it, guys. It can be questioned later on. It doesn't need to be questioned now. Yes, she was the one de-escalating, not Rooster's Rest employees that were begging her to stop.
Prosecution, you can call your next witness.
The prosecution would like to
That was
call
a good witness for
forward,
us, I
I've
think.
gone very British. My apologies. Deputy Mayor Nancy Drew.
All right,
Did you say
Bailey.
former deputy mayor or still deputy mayor?
No, she's deputy again.
Okay, please raise the left hand.
She can.
Wait, she's deputy mayor again?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help
That's
you.
unfortunate.
She can't do that.
I do.
All right. Go ahead, your witness, prosecutor.
Can you please state your and profession for the record?
My name is Nancy Drew, and I don't know how much time you have, but I'm the deputy mayor. I'm the The two most relevant is I'm the deputy mayor and the vice president of Cerberus.
So we're calling Raymond Romanov as key to the stand.
Okay, I'm all good. So sorry. Can you please re-ask your question?
Yes. Is this the fullest extent of your relationship with businesses in the city?
No, it is not.
Do you handle any other business regarding commerce in the city?
Yes, I do. In addition to my own personal businesses that I have, I also work with the San Andreas State Construction Company on storefronts, signage for storefronts inside.
Did Vinny just sit down with it?
Various other things. Honestly, it gets to a point where I can't quite recall everything that I do for the city.
Alrighty. Are you a part of any criminal street gangs?
No, I am not.
All right. You are stated to be a victim of the People's Eye. This was an incident in the Cerberus Business Center. Is this correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Alrighty. How did this incident start?
Well, we were having a meeting in Cerberus. We have a meeting every single day in the Cerberus Business Center after storm. And so we were going about our normal business in our conference room when it was made aware to us via cameras that members of Rust were in our parking garage pouring gasoline on our personal vehicles.
Did you witness the footage of these cameras personally?
I don't believe that I have seen the photos, but I do know that photos do exist.
What was the reasoning for placing the cameras?
Reasoning for placing the cameras is because over the previous weeks, Cerberus, members of the mayor's office, most importantly, had become targets to Rust and their constant attacks on us. So for our safety during this time, the cameras were placed.
You mentioned your safety. Were you fearful for your safety?
Yes, every day. Not only the safety of myself, but the safety of my colleagues.
You briefly mentioned the group Rust. Was this a matter of an ongoing conflict?
Yeah, I heard that. Weeks.
From my knowledge, yes, this is after the events that the previous witness had discussed. I had been made aware of what was going on with Rust.
Okay. And were you fearful for your employees' safety?
But it doesn't really change anything, Chuck.
Absolutely, yes.
The assailants say anything to you prior to the incident?
No,
Were you involved in the shootout?
I was, yes.
And were you injured during the shootout?
I was, yes.
Were weapons directly pointed at you?
Yes, I was shot.
Okay. You are listed as a kidnapping and shooting victim in the People's A.I. through or 8.1 through 4. Where were you kidnapped from?
I was kidnapped from the front of the Rooster's Reef.
Was anyone else kidnapped with you?
Yes, Eve Summers.
Oh, she was talking about the
Were there civilians in the
incident
area?
at the Service Business Center where they shot?
There were, yeah. Sorry, it's a bit tough to speak about.
Just take your time. If you need anything, please let us know.
Unbelievable.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's good.
Yes, there were a number of civilians in the area who were trying to work at the Rooster's Reef establishment.
She's holding.
Did the kidnappers use any sort of weaponry to coerce you to comply?
Yes,
so funny.
they all had weapons pointed at
Siri, I wasn't talking to you, Siri. Relax.
Were the guns pointed at anyone else?
No, it was just pointed at myself and Eve Summers.
Okay.
And then,
Did you-
no, I stand corrected. Sorry. For the actual kidnapping portion, to get us in the vehicles, the guns were pointed at us, and then the guns were turned onto the employees of the reef, the employees of Rooster's Reef, and I believe they started shooting at the civilians who were standing on the patio in front of the reef.
Did you hear gunfire?
I can't recall. I was very, very scared.
Did you comply with those orders?
Yes, of course I did. They had multiple guns pointed at me.
Were you restrained in any way?
Yes. Both Eve and I were handcuffed and searched.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
The OC thing.
did these assailants speak to you at all?
Yes, they did.
What do they say?
Ray Romanov specifically had some choice words.
Yeah, I said she's not family anymore.
Saying, this isn't a family anymore, and what you did. I haven't interacted with any members of Rust, to be honest. I don't. Before this trial,
That's right.
Tell
That's
you
right.
them from a guy walking down the street. They're kind of just all the same to me. But one of the other members did try to release details of their plan to me, which knowing the details is a bit shocking.
And what were the details of said plan?
Just asked if she's seen the Dark
Well,
Knight trilogy.
they said that when I asked what their plan was, they mentioned the Batman films. And they said the second Batman film. If you've seen the second Dark Knight, I believe they take two people that mean a lot to Batman, place them on separate sides of the city, and make him choose.
Mentioned the trilogy.
And so obviously, taking the mayor and picking his two deputies to harm and making the mayor choose which one of his deputies means the most to him is...
Nancy, you're spoiling the goddamn movie!
Sorry.
She's spoiling the film, guys.
A little shocking.
So brave.
I feel the lack of emotion.
Does anybody have any tissues?
Yeah, of course. Of course. We got some over here we can bring to you. Yeah.
She's ulting.
From doing my job. in the mayor's
Permission to
office,
approach,
something like
Your
this.
Honor, to give her the tissue box. Your Honor. Okay.
Your Honor, can we add objections, spoilers, to the list of objections in the future report?
I'm so sorry.
You want me to
brought
put
it
you
up
in
to
the
me.
corner again, Bass?
No.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
I agree
I've
with you,
collected
Bass.
myself.
Don't worry. Whole movie out for me now.
With your knowledge of the ongoing conflict, did this plan remind you of any previous incidents?
Raymond better cry. Yeah, we gotta get ready to cry, chat.
There's just been so many incidences of Rust being violent recently, specifically directed towards the mayor's office, that I can't keep track anymore.
Bro, there's been less than 10 and she can't even count the 10. How is this person deputy mayor?
And did police
needs
attempt
to be
to
done.
stop the kidnapping?
They did. Yes. There were.
What happened? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say there was a time period where
God damn it,
we
Mike.
were hidden in the mountains up on Mount Gordo, specifically because the police were starting to look for us. At that point, the police actually did find the vehicle we were in, a white four-door sedan, I think, and started a very long chase.
Did the kidnappers shoot at officers at all
They did.
during such chase? Okay.
Not only from the vehicle, but after they got out of the vehicle as well.
Did police return fire?
They did, yes.
Were you injured from gunfire during the pursuit?
I was. After, well, I don't know if it counts as during the pursuit, but the
This is a fun
car
court
had
case so
been
far.
running on a low.
And there's a lot of people here. Like, holy shit.
The gas in the vehicle we were in had run out, and the driver had exited and run from the vehicle. He then turned back to attempt to execute myself and Eve Summers by shooting us while we were handcuffed in the back of the car.
Before I go back to that really difficult spot, were you injured at all prior to the car?
I'm scared for your odds.
crashing out?
It is what it is, chat. It's RP at the end of the day.
We were running into things. There was guns, bullets flying. I'm not sure specifically because they tried to execute us.
Mhm.
So it all kind of blurred together at that point. I don't know what came from the gunshots at the end or during the chase.
Also, I'm surprised my lawyer's not
You
doing any
mentioned
hearsay
the
thing.
individual had left the car and then turned to shoot you.
Yes.
Was there a pause prior, and did he return in terms of get closer to you prior to shooting?
Just in compound.
Sure. I'm happy to reword. Did the individual pause before shooting you?
Briefly. But only
The
because
indi-
they were shooting at police officers.
Crane is probably typing chat.
Did the individual
notes.
get closer to you and return to the vehicle prior to shooting you?
Yes.
I think at that point it's
Was the gun specifically pointed at you?
Yes. And
were you
Eve.
able? And Eve.
Yes.
Were you able to defend yourself?
No. Again, we were handcuffed in the back of the car.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
And to confirm, Deputy Mayor Summers was shot at the same time?
Yes, she was. I turned to my left and I saw her get shot first, and then seconds after I got shot.
Oh no, she's halting.
Are you still dealing with the injuries that you sustained during these incidents?
It's mostly mental at this point.
Do you care to elaborate?
Oh, I mean, just
This has to be the already old guys. She's got
being
3
fearful
uses,
for
you
your
know.
life. And watching someone you work with every day, nearly die beside you and then almost die yourself. It's just a lot weighing on you all the time.
World's smallest violin.
You mentioned that you were able to identify Mr. Romanoff. Were you able to identify anyone else of the assailants?
Yes. The person who shot us was David Jackson, aka Benz.
Yeah, how does she know that, bro?
Payne Mahuta was also there.
Oh my god.
There was a few others.
Recall the names of those few others.
I would be able to, but unfortunately right now I am not.
Objection, my name's Tane.
So interesting. Let me just confer with my co-counsel. That is it for direct.
Cross-examination.
Spanish accent. Raimundo Robles incoming. What is Robles? Is that a last, like an actual common
I
last
wasn't even
name?
there when you shot her.
Your Honor, would we be able to put the camera photos up on the screen?
From the people's eye.
Yes.
On the screen up there?
Bruh, if this is a funny picture, I don't know if I can
Which
hold
one?
Any of them is fine. Any of them that say that they are camera footage, screenshots. Ms. Drew, do you see any members of Rust in this photo?
I'm sorry, I can barely see that photo. Am I allowed to get up and get closer to it?
Sure.
I have no objection.
So this is the cameras that were in the garage?
Conor McGregor in that photo.
I think
we all.
It's a little grainy, but it looks like there are people in that vehicle back there.
Definitely Conor McGregor.
All right. Are you able to identify any of them?
No, not at this time.
All right. Your Honor, will you put up another picture from the security footage, please?
Oh my god. Frankie.
All right.
Is that Conor
Sorry to
McGregor?
make you get up again, Ms. Drew. Can you please take a look at this photo and tell me if you're able to identify the individual in this picture as he's closer to the camera?
holy shit, I can't tell who it is. It looks like a girl? It looks like a girl. I can't really tell who it is though.
God damn it, they took my binoculars.
I know who it is.
Please say Conor McGregor. Please say Conor McGregor. Please say Conor McGregor.
Definitely Conor McGregor.
It's a girl without a shirt that has a bra and long white pants.
She's triple looking. She's confirmed.
While I can't identify the person in the photo, I can identify that vehicle as being the one that kidnapped myself and Eve Summers.
All right. At the time of the incident, did you know this car was affiliated with Rust?
No, like I said previously, I don't pay.
Wait, is she saying a white and colored?
This case.
Is she saying a white and colored BMW is
All right. Then how did you know
You know how many
that
white and color
members
BMWs
of
are in the
Rust
city? It's
were,
ridiculous.
attacking the vehicles in the parking lot?
I was notified by Eve Summers while we were in our meeting.
She already answered.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
MGW.
Okay, continue.
Right. You stated that you and your colleagues were afraid for your safety. Is that correct?
Dude, I thought she asked me. I'm like,
I said I was afraid for the safety
I'm like, wait a
of
minute.
myself, but
like-
including my colleagues.
Can you tell them back there to keep quiet, guys? Please.
And not only us, but the residents and businesses that are within the Cerberus Business Center.
Thank you for the correction.
Hey, why should we change how we conduct business because of gangbangers? Something like that.
Oh, she said that?
I'm gonna write it down.
Oh.
Just remembered it.
Good.
Sorry, did you not hear my question? I asked
No,
if you
I'm just. You, please,
Okay.
please ask it
Wait,
again.
you wrote this shit down, right?
All right. I was just asking why you chose to not follow through with
So
that
her comment
suggestion
earlier,
you had
chat,
come up
was
with it.
why would we change what we do because of a
we
bunch of
are
gangbangers?
Business trying to conduct business on our business property where civilians work, not gangs.
Understood. However, you said that you were looking to protect everyone. Wouldn't it be safer to have the meeting away from the business center to protect the people who use that on a daily basis
Thank you, Kathy, for
that are
24
not
months.
involved with this conflict?
I'll remind you again that Rust was trying to blow up our personal vehicles in an open parking garage. So blaming us, the victims, for conducting business.
All right, hold on.
Ooh, yeah, she's.
I'm just not going to let you guys engage in a back and forth. The roles here are that the attorney will ask you questions and you will attempt your best to answer those questions. If you don't like the question, then you need to rely on your attorneys to object. But we are not going to get into a back and forth where we just say what we feel about what the other person is saying. There needs to be a question and an answer.
Understood.
So let's try that again. Ask your question and we'll have an answer.
Why did you choose not to follow through with the idea to move the meeting elsewhere?
Objection asked and answered. They should have objected to her being non-responsive at the time. The answer is on the record at this point. They should have objected if they did not like the answer, not just ask it again.
I have to agree with the prosecutor on this. That is sustained. You need to find a way to ask your question or move on. We cannot just simply repeat the same question because we didn't like the answer the first time.
Yes, Your Honor. You stated that you were told Rust was in the parking garage, correct?
Correct.
So you knew, and were you told that what they were doing in the garage?
I was told they were pouring gasoline on our vehicles.
Right. Was there any mention of them being armed?
No.
Why did you choose to
You said something else.
go downstairs to the garage, knowing that the Rust members were there?
Because in accordance with...
Objection argumentative at this point, trying to establish the answer before she even lets the individual answer. Counsel testifying.
I disagree.
Rebuttal.
I disagree. She stated, "Why did you do something knowing that something was the case?"
Yeah,
That's very different from arguing by giving an answer and a conclusion. So overruled. You can answer that one.
Okay. Sorry, can you repeat the question once more?
Why did you choose to go down to the garage, knowing that members of Rust were there?
Why did you choose to go down there?
Because in accordance with the Stand Your Ground law, the attempt, now I want to preface this by saying 911 had been called, but in an attempt to de-escalate and protect not only my colleagues, but also our property and the businesses of over 150 other businesses that run out of our building on a daily basis. It was in our best interests at the time to go down there and try to get them to stop what they were doing.
You were
Yeah, that was a good question. She ran down to shoot. That's the cop's job.
Prior
Yeah.
to this with Rust.
So she's saying she was standing her ground by running down there to
yes.
engage in conflict?
Your Honor, she can be told
Huh.
if other people did it.
Huh.
I'm not asking what was said, but I am.
Somebody needs to remove her weapons license.
She had any knowledge that anyone had done so.
Yeah, I agree. It's possible to answer this question in a way that would not be objectionable.
Rust was the one who was pouring gasoline first.
I have
So
personally
Rust
not been
engaged the
involved in
situation.
anything
This is
until
for people who
day,
missed it.
but I cannot speak for my colleagues.
Rust poured gasoline. Zaceed jumped out of the trunk, started shooting.
Understood.
And then other people started shooting as well. That's what happened, guys. If you missed it. And then the argument from my lawyers is why would she run into the parking lot to start opening fire on Rust members when cops were called?
I only have one
Yeah, I figure you were better
clarifying
talking about standing
question.
ground than I am.
Because you stood your ground, you ran towards the culprits in the Cerberus garage. Is that correct?
Objection vague?
I'm gonna need you to rephrase that one.
I feel like Maya is better at like the
gonna split
pressing
that in
of the
two.
witnesses, but Hayes has good
Is it
rhetoric
correct?
and he writes like good documentation.
That you stood your ground in that incident in the Cerberus garage.
Hayes is like amazing with the documentation and paperwork
Objection
and work.
vague again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're trying to ask.
Your Honor, at this point, she is non-responsive. It is something
I
she's.
just told you I don't understand what you're trying to ask. I'm not non-responsive. I'm
Okay.
asking for
so
clarification if possible.
hold on. No back and forth between you two. I understand you're trying to reference the fact that she brought up the stand your ground concept in her answer to a previous question. I have made note of that. But I think you need to be a little more explicit about what you're asking her, because did you stand your ground can mean a lot of different things. So let's be a little more particular about what
Did
we're
you
asking.
run down? Yeah.
Was there any other way to exit the building besides the way to the garage?
Objection speculative.
No, she has clearly stated that she is intimately knowledgeable regarding Cerberus operations. She's the VP of the whole organization, so it's well within her scope to answer.
There is another
True.
way to exit the building.
And it is correct, you chose to enter the garage.
In an attempt to de-escalate a situation.
Oh,
that
that's
was
not good.
posing
That
harm
so it's a yes, and to
the
de-escalate
members
situation.
and residents of our building.
That's not her job.
Yes.
But the police were called
As
at
you
that point.
said to stand your ground. Is that correct?
Objection, misstatement of testimony. The witness stated that she was trying to, in accordance to the stand your ground law, follow the de-escalation part, or I don't know what the proper word is. The part of stand your ground law. She did not state that she was specifically.
Dude, there's
standing her
so many
ground. She
freaking
was
people here.
following the accordance of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Mr. Hayes, you are drawing a conclusion about how you feel her statement should be interpreted. I think that's something you can argue in, say, your closing. You can cite to what you believe she said and how you believe I should interpret it, but you arguing as much to her directly is not a.
Yeah, Cam, I wish you were here, man.
I would ask you to ask a question.
Yes, just one more question. Do you know what the stand your ground law is?
I would not be able to tell you the specific wording of the stand your ground law.
Why'd you even reference it, you dumbass?
Mike,
Do you understand
it's
the
so
basic
aggressive.
concept of stand your ground?
It's so aggressive.
Yes.
No, she's answered. Go ahead.
Yeah, you
Can
need to
give
recite it
me
for a weapons license.
That
Sure.
basic concept of stand your ground.
Objection, relevance to the matter at hand. This does not provide any sort of exculpatory matter towards his clients.
Wait, there is.
Although she did mention it, and it is within scope.
She did mention it, exactly.
Where are we going with this, Hayes?
To bring up in court that she does not know what stand your ground law is, Your Honor.
Right,
Objection,
but what
then
is that?
relevance.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Prosecutor,
Sorry, Your Honor.
relax.
Yep.
All right. So what does that have to do? The question of relevance is what does that have to do with the guilt or lack thereof of your clients?
Can't even wait after.
As she is not de-escalating the situation, she is escalating the situation, Your Honor.
Then objection
Okay,
argumentative.
stop. Okay, I've
Yes.
heard enough. In my opinion, we're probably like 2 or 3 degrees of separation from relevant info at this point. Yes, the scope was opened up when she brought up stand your ground in her testimony. Yes, that is related to the action she took on an incident that, you know, she claims and the prosecution claims are indicative of why coops should be applied and civilians being targeted and all this. But her particular knowledge of stand your ground does not directly or even tangentially help me determine whether or not your clients are guilty or not. It's too far gone. It's really not relevant. Let's move on from the point.
Okay, I give to my co-counsel.
Moving on to the incident at Rooster's Reef, you stated in your direct testimony that civilians were shot at the reef. Is that correct?
Rayson, how's the case going? It's going.
Objection, misstatement of testimony. She stated that she saw weapons pointed at the civilians, but does not recall if weapons were fired or not.
The city straight up needs better lawyers across the board. Mom,
Rebuttal, counselor.
just for your reference,
I
they don't want that.
Recall that she corrected herself and
They're
said
role playing as
civilians
lawyers.
were
They're not
shot, but
actual lawyers, you know?
I can ask the question a different way.
Sure, go
Withdrawn.
ahead.
Just keep that in mind, chat. It's a role play server. It's not real. It's
Did
not
you witness any civilians shot at Rooster's Reef?
As I stated previously, I don't recall if they were shot, but I know guns were pointed at civilians. By the time that had happened, I was already loaded into the vehicle at gunpoint.
You stated during your prior testimony that you didn't know the members of Rust from anyone else on the street. Is that accurate?
Apart from Raymond Romanov, yes.
All right. How did you identify the other members that you testified were involved, including the individual who shot you?
A combination of the police and being able to look them up and identify them in the MDW after the fact.
No further questions, Your Honor, for this witness.
Some people say victim blaming.
When you entered the garage,
It's
were
not
you?
victim blaming if people had a choice and
how are you intending to
didn't use common
de-escalate?
sense.
Yeah. Hey,
I was intending on trying to speak with them. If they were just pouring gasoline on the vehicles, you know, maybe we could have, the police who had been called could have shown up and we could have worked something out and it could have ended there. But instead, before I was even able to exit the stairwell, I was shot down.
So to be clear, you wanted to take the businesswoman approach. Is that correct?
As I do with everything in my life, yes.
Did you expect these gang members to openly attack businesswomen as yourself?
No, especially not the deputy mayor.
Yeah, there should have been like a bingo card for how many times, like if civilian is said like 20 times. It'd be fun.
Through this conflict, as it was ongoing, would you learn the identities of the individuals of the
I feel
gang?
like she thinks this is political.
Yes.
I mean, Lyng said
Who was watching the
because
cameras
they were
that
political
alerted you to the
doesn't
presence
mean
of the
that,
individuals
You know,
Eve
it was
Summers?
politically motivated.
in the city?
So far, I still don't think Coop's Law applies with any of the
Right,
evidence.
and I, you know,
That is it for redirect, Your Honor.
all right, thank you, Ms. Drew. You can step down. All right, so that is the conclusion of the prosecution's witnesses allocated for this case. There have obviously been depositions in this case that I have on file that I will refer to when deliberating, as well as a very large amount of evidence that has been supplied. Prosecution, dare I say, is there anything in that evidence you would like to specifically point to that you feel will not be covered explicitly in your closing that you think is paramount for me to listen to in this moment?
I do, Your Honor. I am happy to help save time by sending that to the defense and yourself. But if not, I do have something prepared to read, as I believe it's important to highlight.
Okay, let's keep it brief. Go ahead.
Do the best I can. Try to be quick about it. Line 385 of Raymond Romanoff's calls, a call from Brian Knight to Raymond Romanoff at the time of the aforementioned warning. Line 380 on Conor McGregor's records, which is a text from him to Eugene Zuckerberg stating, quote, Knight is trying to big dick Ray or some shit, unquote. Both referencing Director Knight's discussions with members of Rust regarding incidents. Additionally, the prosecution would like to highlight lines 73 and 74 of Tane Mahuta's text records to Eve Summers, as this was referenced during her testimony during the deposition.
Defense, are you prepared to move forward with your side?
I would like to request a couple minutes recess, Your Honor.
All right, we'll resume on the hour. Thank you.
I mean, it's not bad. So the first witness has no credibility with the answers because she doesn't remember anything.
Yeah,
and all the
that was
information
okay.
she has is hearsay. And Nancy repeated the statement and apparently doesn't know what stand your ground is. So it's, you know.
And I wasn't even there, by the way, for any of that shit.
You
So
just hugged me.
Yeah.
You put your
Yeah.
arms on me.
We know.
Nah, it was Conor McGregor.
You for a sec over
yeah,
here.
just a sidebar. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm, since they were talking about, not bad faith or anything, the fact that they submitted that recording of your off-the-record conversation, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to run with it. So when I ask you what you talked about in that meeting with Brian, I want you to specifically mention that police were ignoring the actions of Cerberus, even when Lyng was shooting at Rust members with the miniguns on his armored car
Okay,
during
so
an active police
I'm going to
chase.
say this again while you're saying it. So you're saying that you're going to ask me what was said. I'm going to say that Cerberus, the PD, was ignoring, the police department was ignoring Lyng as he immediately opened fire on multiple Rust members with his car with the miniguns. What else?
Yes, during an active police chase.
During an active police chase, while an active pursuit was occurring. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, however you want to spin that, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
Okay, let me write that down.
Yeah, sure, no problem. No, it's fine.
If officers during the chase saw or heard the vehicle opening fire, and I'm going to say yes, they were aware and specifically chose to ignore the ongoing armored vehicle that was pursuing and opening fire. Yes? Does that sound good?
Yes.
They asked who the officer was. Specifically, Brittany Angel responded to the knowledge of the incident. That sounds good, right?
Yes, perfect. Those are the main things I want
here's
to
the thing,
bring up
though.
on that.
That does admit guilt, though, because I'm saying that I was there. But is that fine? Because it doesn't really matter to me because I was caught anyway.
Yeah, if you were caught anyway, I mean, we're trying to impeach the prosecution because they said that they've been acting in good faith, and recording this is, in and of itself in bad faith, and also the fact that you have an officer who is actively ignoring Cerberus in the middle of
As they were
an
opening fire,
incident.
they literally said, "We don't care. You're
Yep.
the focus right now." Should I say that?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it'll probably
I'll-
get struck for hearsay, but go ahead and say it.
Verbatim,
Worst
the
comes to
words from
worst.
Brittany Angel were, "We don't care. You are the focus right now." Right?
Yeah, go ahead and say it. They'll probably object to hearsay and it'll get stricken, but it'll at least be out there.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, defense, you want to call your first witness?
Ray first.
Yes, Ray first.
Okay.
All right, guys, it's my
Just
turn.
a notice of.
All right, Mr. Romano.
Hello.
All right, Mr. Romanoff, please raise your left hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury, so help you Nikes?
Yes.
Dude, your boom's in the way.
All right,
Yes,
your witness.
sworn in.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Romanoff, do you recall the events that occurred at Clean Manor on May 26th?
Your Honor, I apologize. Can we get the defendant away from the witness?
Blackthorn, why are you holding the boom mic?
I need to record the -1000.
I'm so sorry.
Get back with the rest of your co-defendants, please.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Fucking idiot.
Go ahead.
All right. I will ask my question again. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Romanoff, do you recall the events that occurred at Clean Manor on May 26th?
Yes, very, very clearly.
Why did you go to Clean Manor that day?
I was contacted by Lyng Buddha for a meeting. to potentially resolve some issues that we had.
Right. Did Mr. Lyng choose the location?
Yes.
And did anyone accompany you to the meeting?
Yes.
Who came with you?
I came in a car with, I believe, 4 other individuals, if I can count correctly.
All right.
Yeah,
who
he's
was
reading on that
at the
DB, man.
manor
They're gonna
when
raid
you
us right now.
arrived?
Who was at the manor when I was arriving?
Yes.
Are you good, Dick?
The 2 individuals were Lyng
Is the door
Buddha
open?
and Harry Brown that I'm aware of.
Are we getting raided? Maybe.
Fan, I'm thinking that raid, buddy. Appreciate it.
What happened to the day one ago?
So, did everyone that came with you attend the meeting?
No. Just one person.
Right. And who was that individual?
Maxine Celsius.
All right. Where inside the manor did the meeting take place?
Half an hour to hour and a half, maybe 2.
Whoever this is to my right, I can hear you, sorry. It was at the meeting room, the business room, essentially, on the west side of the house.
All right. And do you recall how everyone was arranged within the room?
Yes, clearly.
All right. So where were the 4 of you located?
Buddha was sitting in the primary chair, or like near the primary chair. And then Harry Brown was near him as well, on his side of the desk. Myself and Maxine were positioned on the southern side of the desk.
All right.
That was a raid sound, guys. Thank you, Phantom, for the raid.
Did you guys have a chance to get into that discussion?
Yes, we deliberated a little bit. I think for about maybe a minute or 2.
All right. And then what happened?
The conversation wasn't going well. We were trying to resolve things. Unfortunately, it was disagreed upon by the other party. And all I remember is falling and waking up about, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes later in handcuffs.
All right. Why did you fall unconscious?
I was tranquilized, is what I was informed by medical reports and also the individuals that I spoke to, which I believe was Brian Knight.
Right. And you mentioned being handcuffed. What else was going on when you came to?
I woke up dizzy, confused. This stuff that was used on me was very strong. It was almost immediate, so it was very, very potent. Still in my blood many hours later. What I remember is waking up in a daze, not seeing anyone in the room, and then just screaming for help. I handcuffed to my own home.
All right. So the individuals that you called out for, did they respond?
Yes, I was actually promptly saved by an individual who came in and was able to remove me from the cuffs. I can reenact this if you like.
Please go ahead and just tell us. Thank you.
Okay. I was in the room, scared for my life, looking around, didn't know what was going on. I couldn't even move, was cuffed up to the chair. I began screaming. I said, help, anyone, please help me. I don't know what's going on. I can't find my son, who is Maxine, the guy I came to the meeting with. And I was actually saved by an individual, which I believe was Perez. And all I heard is, they got your son, they have your son. And then I heard gunshots following, and it was just a daze. It was absolutely crazy. All happening within my own home in the meeting that was chosen by, a meeting location chosen by Lyng Buddha.
And what did you do upon hearing the gunshots?
I tried to go get my son out of the situation.
All right. What do you mean by tried? What happened?
There is a little upstairs area where he was being dragged across the floors by Harry Brown, Buddha, and Speedy, I believe are all the names. Just being dragged across. And I heard gunshots. I was screaming, just give me my son back. And there was a lot of no's. There was like, no, we're not going to do it. He deserves what's coming to him. And unfortunately, I was too late to help him.
Once you realized you were too late to help him, what did you do?
I screamed at the person that I could hear, which is Buddha, because shots were going back and forth at this point from other people around us. I just screamed at him. I said, hey, just give me Maxine. I will grab him. I will get the hell out of here. We forget all this happened. We can just move on, you know? Just give me my son. I don't care what happens here. And they actually fooled me. They said, yes, so I'll give it to him. And they walked up to the door, locked it, and then went up into the tower above the chimney area and began opening fire on other Rust members.
How did you respond to the new instance of gunfire?
I was extremely angry, but the only thing I was focusing at the time was getting my son out of the situation. So I had someone come over and help me break the door open and get my boy, and then we were just dragging him to the car that was outside, positioned to the north side. It was a black and color SUV.
Right. Were you able to get into that SUV?
Yes, I was able to get into it after, well, I believe his name was Bruno, walked up to the vehicle and was shot down from the tower. So after more shots were exchanged between Rust members and the other people that were in the area, I was able to get him into the car and try to drive off before getting shot.
All right. Tell us about what happened when you got shot.
I was just trying to escape. I was trying to get the hell out of there. I didn't want anything that was going on. I put my son in the car, put Bruno in the car, and was driving up the ramp. And all I hear is just rings of bullets coming from the clock tower and another individual who drove in as well.
Please tell us about that individual.
That individual just drove straight by police officers that were positioned at the front at this point. Drove straight in with, I think it was an Enos or something. Got out of the vehicle and just started opening fire on my car and the individual to my right that was running up to the car.
All right. And did this individual shoot anyone?
Yes, he shot me and the person to my right. He also identified himself to myself later on within the cells and said it was him, but he had to do it. It was Zaceed.
Are you familiar with Zaceed?
I am familiar with him, yes.
Does he live at Clean Manor with you?
No, he absolutely did not. No.
All right. Has he been there before?
Yes. He is Harry Brown's son and visits quite often.
All right. And who is Harry Brown in this conflict? What's their relationship to the parties involved?
You want my opinion of it, or do you want me to be honest?
Just looking for factual evidence. Is he? What is his relationship to the people that were at the meeting? Since you said he was there.
Lyng Buddha considers him family and a very, very close friend. I consider him a lapdog that listens and is wild.
And you Objection, hearsay on Lang Buddha's opinion of it.
Yeah, so because we're not able to, get Lang to answer how he feels about Harry, I will consider that statement stricken. The rest of it can stand. Your interpretation is fine. Telling us what Lang thinks is not.
Can I state then what was said at the meeting to clarify this?
You can answer questions asked by your attorney.
Okay, go ahead.
So you stated that Harry was at the meeting and that Zaceed is Harry's son, correct?
Correct. Harry was demanded to be at the meeting, even though I personally requested it to be a Maxine, myself, and Buddha conversation.
All right. So based on the relationship between Mr. Buddha and Mr. Brown.
Yo, Sobi, thank you for 7 months.
Being his son, would you say that Zaceed has been at the manor before?
Objection leading.
Oh.
I'll rephrase.
Okay.
To your knowledge, has Zaceed been to the manor before?
Yes. Definitely.
What happened after Zaceed shot you?
As I said, he ran past a little bit more, started shooting at the other individual, which I believe was Perez at that time, and just ran straight into the home, towards the back, I think.
All right. And what happened to you after getting shot?
Well, I couldn't really control the car at this point that I was driving, and it began reversing uncontrollably into a wall on the west side.
All right. And what happened on the property after you crashed the vehicle?
It was at that point that police finally began moving in and trying to secure the scene. And I believe that all the individuals that I witnessed were placed in cuffs, to my knowledge.
All right. And were you yourself also placed in the cuffs at that time?
Yes, I was removed from the vehicle, received medical aid, and placed in cuffs.
All right. And what happened after you received medical?
I went to the hospital to get medical records done of the tranquilizer. And actually, I spoke directly to police in interrogation for 2 hours. That's the first thing I did.
All right. And were you the only individual placed in the cells?
I believe it was myself and other Rust members, to my knowledge. But then again, I was in an interrogation room, so I'm not aware.
Objection speculative.
You answered the question anyway.
His answer was speculative.
My answer was?
Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Relax.
Oh, shit, Crane's not happy about...
Okay. Now, defense counselor, do you have a rebuttal?
Yes, Your Honor. He did say that it was to the best of his knowledge, which is not speculation.
Final commentary by the prosecution.
Yep. He further stated, but I would not be able to confirm that, et cetera, that because he was in the interrogation room.
Why is that important? I guess.
Okay, sustained. Stricken, go ahead.
Did anything happen while you were in these cells?
I had a brief conversation with Zaceed. As I said, he mentioned to me that he had to do it. It was for family. And then I was dragged over to the first interrogation room.
All right. Thank you very much. Were you charged at the time for the incident at Clean Manor?
No, I was, put on a hold, or I was held up for a while. That's what I remember. I think, no, actually I was released. No charges.
All right, thank you.
So be thinking 7 months.
All right. Let's move on to another incident. I'm referencing People's Exhibit. Let me double check this. I'm referencing People's Exhibit I-2, a conversation you had with Trooper Knight. Do you recall this?
Which one particularly?
The one at the Polito Police Station.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Did you consent to having that conversation, quote, on the record?
No.
Did you consent to having the conversation recorded?
No.
Were you made aware that the conversation was being recorded?
No.
Objection relevance at this point. If they had issue with evidence, they should have motioned to dismiss it.
Oh, we don't have an issue at all. We're just confirming that that this incident took place, and we want to discuss some of the incidents that were discussed.
Okay, I think it's relevant. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me re-ask that last question. Were you made aware that the conversation was being recorded?
No, I was not made aware.
Were you under arrest or detainment at the time of this conversation?
No, it was supposed to be a conversation off the record.
Were you read your Miranda rights?
No, I was not.
Were you asked if you would like an attorney present?
No.
All right, thank you. Do you recall the conversation you had with Trooper Knight?
I do recall it, yes.
And what did you discuss?
We discussed my qualms with what had occurred during a pursuit. Specifically, the pursuit where there was an armored vehicle opening fire on Rust members during a police pursuit.
All right. Were you familiar with this vehicle? Had you seen it before?
Yes, many times before.
All right. And what do you know about that vehicle?
I know that vehicle is completely bulletproof. And also is armed with miniguns hidden in its headlights, I guess you could say.
All right, and
wait, okay, Your Honor. Sorry, I just had to confirm something in the evidence. The people are referring. Sorry, so the defense is referring to the people's eye point 2, but specifically a conversation that was not the submitted evidence. Can we have a sidebar? It's relevant. Trust me. We need a sidebar.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys
All
have
right,
the same
speak up.
experience. All right, back to RP.
apologies for the delay, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
All right, Mr. Romanoff, let's move on to the incident of the kidnapping that Ms. Drew testified to. I'm not sure which People's Exhibit that is off the top of my head. I can look here in a second.
People's A.
Oh.
Thank you, Prosecutor. People's
If
A.
you got timed out, chat, it's because the bot timed you out. The bot automatically times out links. Just keep that in mind, guys. Okay.
All right, sorry about that. I needed to adjust my notes here on the podium for a second here.
Yep, take your time.
All right, thank you. During that incident, it's been sorry, let me start over.
I don't like her asking me questions about this incident. I wish she asked me questions about the Rooster's Rest thing. I should have talked to her about that.
Tell us about the incident at Rooster's Reef once you left the reef.
Are you referring to the Cargo Bob incident or the...
No, the Rooster's Reef, not Rest.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
When I left Rooster's Reef.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you can.
Can I have a little bit more information?
Sure. Let me walk that back for you. All right. Do you remember arriving at the reef on June 2nd?
I think I remember the day, yes.
All right. What do you remember about that incident? About how it began?
I'm so confused. Why? I don't know what's going on. Wait, she's talking about the reef? I'm so sorry. I don't know exactly which incident you're referring to. There's a lot of incidents with Rooster's Reef and Rest.
Sure. Let's see. It's the incident that Ms. Drew testified to about her and Ms. Summers.
Okay.
Does that help?
Oh, you're referring to when she's mentioned she was kidnapped?
Yes. Sorry. Yes, that's the incident.
Okay. Ask me what's
Yes. Sorry. What happened when you arrived?
When I had arrived at the Rooster's Reef?
Yes.
Why is she asking me this? This is incriminating. Sorry, I have something going on in my head. Let's see. The thing that occurred at the Rooster's Reef is I remember there was like 6 or 7 people that were sitting around. I saw Miss Drew, I believe it was, and Eve Summers. And a bunch of people with like cameras and guns out.
All right. What did you do when you approached the individuals, the group?
What did I do? I said I needed to speak to Nancy and Eve.
All right. What happened after you asked to speak with them?
I said for them to come over here to talk to me in the cars, in the area, and then a guy came up with a gun and another one pulled the camera out. Why is she asking me this? This is incriminating Raymond.
Did Ms. Drew and Ms. Summers come with you to the car?
Yes, they started coming with me, but the people still had their guns out, which I believe is what led to an altercation between Rust members and whoever that was.
All right.
Why is she
moving
asking me
on.
this? I'm gonna trust her though. I don't like this though. I wish she asked me about the Rooster's Rest.
Sorry, just a moment.
But I guess I was already caught for this.
Mr. Romanoff, during that whole incident, did you see former Mayor Lyng Buddha?
No, I had the meeting with him prior.
I'm sorry to, I'm just going to clarify. I'm talking about the incident that followed up after the Rooster's Reef, the alleged kidnapping of the two deputy mayors.
Did I see Lyng Buddha after that?
Yes, at any point.
Oh, he was on the mountain eventually in that scene, yes. And following the incidents as well.
Could you clarify following? Did you see him at a different spot?
Yes, there was a shootout that was referred to earlier in the evidence that occurred on the La Puerta freeway by the scrapyard. He was by that scene opening fire on people.
Do you recollect how he got there?
I believe it's
Objection. Speculation.
Yeah, withdrawn. It's all good.
probably DeLorean? The car?
Did you see Harry Brown anywhere during that incident?
Objection relevance. Not a witness, not a member who's being charged with any sort of crimes. Not mentioned in the original testimony pertaining to this incident.
Wait, I don't understand why don't they just ask me about Rooster's Rest, because the Rooster's Rest incident with the cargo bob is really bad for the other side.
Hayes, thoughts further?
I strongly believe that Harry Brown is essential to this case. Also showing the incident that occurred at the prison later on.
Final thoughts, prosecutor?
I stand by with what I said. I mean, Harry Brown isn't being charged. This wouldn't bring any sort of exculpatory evidence whether or not he was involved.
No, I was there for the helicopters flying out there.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, beyond just bringing it.
Okay, I'm going to let you ask like one or two questions here. And if it doesn't get to a point that, reinforces to me that it's relevant, then we're going to move on. So overruled for now, but short leash. Go ahead.
Your Honor, is only going to be another follow-up question. Again, Mr. Romanoff, did you see Harry Brown during that incident anywhere?
Yes, I was told that he was at the scene. I remember seeing him once.
And where was that?
I was informed that he was somewhere underneath La Puerta freeway opening fire on people.
Did you see Zaceed anywhere during that incident?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I'm going to confirm with my co-counsel.
Bro, I wish they were asking me about the Rooster's Rest incident with the helicopters flying at the sky. That led to a kidnapping and the chase. I don't like these, I genuinely don't like these questions, but I guess this is why you talk to your lawyers ahead of time. The first part, like where she asked me about the police pursuit that was occurring with the armored vehicle, that was good.
No further question.
Be quick.
All right, bathroom break. Go ahead, everybody.
Where's that dog at?
What the dog do?
This is your fault,
He's got that dog in her.
Hey, guys, can I just quickly ask you a question? Why are you asking me about this incident and not the incident where they dropped helicopters at the sky and the cargo bob thing? I was there for the helicopters flying out the sky.
Yeah, we were there.
And I was
that is not the issue here. We'll have Zaceed's involvement. And
how do you? What am I? Am I supposed to be? What are these questions helping me with?
I'm not sure. The reef was a little bit thrown off the.
Yeah, how's that go with a chicken hatch? You'll know.
The boomer book thing kind of threw her off a little. It's gonna be all right. Don't worry.
Also, Ray, just a quick one to save us all.
Yeah.
I know it's part of your normal vocabulary, but you got to remove "I believe" and
I have to stop.
and I was told.
coming over here. I was coming over here to say you got to stop saying "I believe." I was told.
Okay, we'll do.
You have to just affirm something or don't know it.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's like you're not sure, just lie for all I care.
Okay, we'll
Like,
do. Got you. We're not even halfway done yet,
Now,
so it's okay.
Please, for the love of God, stop saying "I believe."
Where's Grace?
I think she needs a moment. She's
Hide this.
yeah.
She's
She's a
behind
little
you.
bit no. She went to the bathroom. She's a little bit shook. I told her what the questions should be, and somehow she had something else in mind that was not as planned.
Yeah.
And
You got to recollect.
yes, you need to know that Grace and Maya haven't been doing court cases as often as I have, and I'm trying to push them towards the right direction to get that experience, because there's going to be a day when I'm not going to be around anymore.
No, I understand that.
And we
Hey,
need people to do so.
Hayes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bailiff brings up a great point here. Romanov is in the middle of testimony, and now he's over there congregating with all of you.
Am I not supposed to do that during a break?
Okay. And
Any thoughts on that, counselor?
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
Not really,
One
Your
second,
Honor.
Your Honor.
Just go back, Ray.
Wait, so a break doesn't mean I can come over here and just chill?
No, I did not hear what he said. What was that?
It's not for any sense that I think you were discussing your testimony or the questions to come or what has transpired, but it's just to avoid the perception that that could be occurring. You understand?
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I'm just eating my food. And getting told that my lawyer got fucked up or something. It's all good.
All right, let's resume.
What are you having? I can't really describe this. You fucked up. I fucked up, chat. But my lawyer should be telling me this. Remember, I'm not a lawyer.
Alrighty. Let's start with the Clean Manor incident. At any point during that, did you open fire?
During the Clean Man incident?
Yes.
Yes.
Why was this not mentioned in your testimony?
I was not asked, did I open fire?
Okay, when did you open fire?
I opened fire when my son was shot.
Okay. Where was this at?
In a compartment on the top floor. The second floor, I guess you could say.
How did you enter this compartment?
Walking up the stairs and walking to where the compartment is? Yes.
Okay. Do you have keys to the Clean Manor?
Not anymore. They were removed, but I was one of the co-owners.
At one point, you stated that you had to break down a door. Why not just unlock it?
Funny enough, my keys were removed during the incident.
Prior to the incident, did any members who accompanied you there have keys?
I gave spare keys to 2 people just in case anything was going to happen.
Just so I can confirm, you testified that you were shot with a tranquilizer gun. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, I was tranquilized, and as well as Maxine.
Okay.
Guys, it's not too honest. There's literally evidence of it.
Call D. Raymond Romanoff examination.
I was caught for this, guys.
Mr. Romanoff, do you see anything regarding a tranquilizer gun in this list of examination?
I'm sorry. What?
No.
What?
What? Sam Bass, Brian Knight, you want to talk to your prosecutor?
I'm so sorry.
I understand.
What in the
It was worth
world?
going down the route.
I just see.
No, it wasn't, and you should have talked to Bass and Knight about that before you asked the question.
All right, let me double check.
So they said like, hey, do you see anything about you being tranquilized here? That's what?
All right, I'm just gonna take a second here. Hey, Romanov.
Yeah. What's up? Can you hear me?
Did you get tranquilized?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I was tranquilized.
Romanov got tranquilized. Move on.
Alrighty. Sorry, there was a discussion prior that I had I guess there was a discussion regarding that, so that's why I brought it up. My apologies that it was mistaken there. Mr. Romanoff, at any point were you under the influence of narcotics during that incident?
Objection. Out of scope.
He's already answered. Were you in the possession of any narcotics?
I can't remember.
All right. This is a photograph of your possessions, Mr. Romanoff, collected by police following the incident.
Okay.
Do you see any narcotics in this image?
Yes, there are narcotics on my person.
Okay. Have you used any of these narcotics before?
Before that incident, at other instances, yes.
Okay. How long prior to the incident had you used either of the needles?
Objection relevant?
Your Honor, sidebar, please.
Was this at least a Friday? Jesus Christ.
Are they trying to argue that I wasn't tranquilized? This is a very weird argument to be going for. There was tranquilized cartridges, there was tranquilized guns found on them, and I have a medical report that there was tranquilized stuff, but I mean, I'm not going to lie that I got tranquilized, and Brian even admitted that it did happen.
Okay, then let's just stick to being more clear about our intent. I think Mr. Hayes was under the impression, as was I, that you were attempting to insinuate some argument about needle marks and where they came from and injection sites and blah, blah, blah. So let's just be a little more basic with our questioning then. Yep. Go ahead.
Alrighty, just to make it a little bit more clear, there are 3 to 4 different types of drugs up in your possession there. Had you used any of them 5 hours prior to this incident?
No, I don't think I was even awake at that point. I was sleeping.
Okay. Did you use any of them during the incident?
No, as they're still on my person.
Okay. I can't tell if from this photo alone if that bill is empty or not, but all right, I'll take your word for it there. You stated that you shooted. Who you shot? Who did you shoot?
I believe I shot Speedy, who is known as Ayrush Patel or something.
Earlier, when asked who was on scene, you stated only Mayor Buddha and Harry Brown. You didn't mention Mr. Santana.
No, I did not. Yes. Would you like clarification?
No, I'll keep it at that.
Okay.
At any point, did you call 911 following the incidents that occurred?
I did not, as I was... By the time I had woken up, cuffed, I walked over to... After being uncuffed, I walked over to the location that I heard the Maxine was at. Lyng Buddha had already screamed, "The police have been called. You're fucked, Raymond. You're fucked."
And why would you be fucked?
That's just the thing that Buddha would say in that situation, is it not?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you elaborate?
He was trying to threaten me.
Did he? Okay. Did you make any official statement to the police following this incident?
Yes.
Objection, scope.
Oh.
It was mentioned.
Yes, I did. I talked to him in interrogation after this event for like 2 hours, as I said.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with me saying that. I don't care if there's objection. I talked to the cops for 2 hours, and nothing I said in the cells was incriminating. I just told him I got tranquilized. And Brian agreed with me. You got tranquilized. There's nothing wrong with me saying that, chat.
At any point, did you unlock the doors for any of your members?
Did I unlock the doors for any of my members?
That's correct.
No, I was handcuffed, and by the time I tried to assist with the situation, my keys were removed.
You stated that you went to the Rooster's Reef to speak with Nancy and Eve. What was the reasoning for this?
As I mentioned before, I had a meeting with the Lyng following that didn't go well. I want to speak to Nancy and Eve about the incident.
Did you attempt to call them?
No.
At any point during that incident, did you pull a firearm?
Did I pull a firearm in that incident?
Correct.
Yes, I believe so.
Did you shoot said firearm?
Not at that moment, no.
Did you shoot that firearm at any point during the chase?
At the officers later on La Puerta Freeway, yes. I did not shoot Eve or Nancy.
Okay, at any point were Eve or Nancy in a vehicle with you?
No. Actually,
Okay, at any point.
Wait,
Go
can you
ahead.
clarify that question? What do you mean at any point?
At any point during that incident from the Rooster's Reef to you being shot down by officers, were you in a vehicle with Eve and Nancy?
Oh, from the very start? Yes.
Okay. Did they get into that vehicle willingly?
No.
Were you threatening them in any way?
Yes.
And where did you take them?
Objection out of scope.
Your Honor, they decided to discuss the entirety of that chase. I'm curious where they were going halfway through that chase.
They're trying to.
Rebuttal, Your Honor?
Yeah.
I mean, is there a point to stopping halfway through here? You did ask us to stick to things that are relevant.
Yeah, what are we getting at here?
Well, we're trying to determine whether or not the defendant here is guilty. They decided to bring him on the stand. I'm asking him questions related to his guilt.
All right. Yeah, he can answer. Go ahead.
Can you repeat the question?
Where was Nancy and Eve taken after getting into your vehicle? That vehicle.
Don't recall all the locations except the location we ended at. That's the most important one, the Little Puerto Freeway.
At any point, did you restrain the deputy mayors?
Me personally, no.
At any point, did any members of your gang restrain the deputy mayors?
Not that I'm aware of.
What was your reasoning for shooting officers?
What was my reasoning for shooting officers?
Correct. You stated that you shot officers.
Yes, they were incredibly aggressive against my fellow Rust members, and I just felt justified personally.
At any point, did you attempt to surrender?
No.
Why not?
I'm so sorry. Why not? Well, my personal reasons as to why I didn't surrender?
You were being chased by police. Why did you not pull over and surrender?
Because I felt justified in my actions, as I said.
You felt justified in kidnapping 2 deputy mayors?
Let's rephrase that. I felt justified in the kidnapping of people that I had felt betrayed me and my family.
Give me about a moment to speak with my co-counsel.
She always sucks.
You just made the kidnapping? Guys, I did kidnap. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, at the end of the day, that's not the fucking issue here, guys. Coop's Law is multiple instances. This is incident? The Kate and Nancy thing? Or sorry, the Kate Eve thing? Absolutely, Raymond is guilty.
Alrighty.
Remember that, chap. That's the thing I'm the most guilty of.
Are you aware of any gang affiliations of the 2 deputy mayors?
Objection. Scope.
I think at this point the scope's been opened up by his client's answers, Your Honor.
I disagree. I think we're so far away from relevant info. I'm killing myself here. I need you guys to get on track. Like, okay, so let's all just take a second here and reiterate. We are here considering whether or not they are guilty of Coop's Law. Whether I should invoke Coop's Law and the language that it uses to punish them. Now, I understand y'all are trying to build a picture for me of the different people involved and their respective affiliations and guilt and civilians and criminals. And but I think y'all are getting way too far in the weeds on the nuance.
Understood, Your Honor. I'll withdraw it.
All right.
What was your intention with kidnapping the deputy mayors?
The intention when I kidnapped, or not but when we kidnapped Eve and Nancy, was to get revenge at that incident that occurred with Lyng Buddha hurting my family.
Okay, and how did you plan to get this revenge?
I didn't get to plan that out because police were immediately on us.
Just to confirm, you kidnapped 2 people without a plan?
Yeah, actually. As crazy as that sounds, I was thinking about things on the go.
Okay, and did you come up with a plan on the go?
Unfortunately not, because we couldn't get everything together before police were on our tail.
All right, let me just confer. I think I'm good.
We couldn't even get all the plan we wanted to go check because we didn't have explosives.
We're good, Your Honor, on cross.
Yeah, it was not premeditated. Exactly. You gotta admit that, chat.
Any redirect?
One moment, Your Honor.
I hope they ask you about the food truck event. That'd be cool. Please ask me about the food truck event. Please, for God's sake, lawyers. Yes.
Did you go to the hospital to?
Oh my God, I hate these guys right now. But
tox report of your blood at the day of the Clean Manor incident.
yes, I did, and I also got my son Maxine, who was also tranquilized, to go get the medical report as well.
Are you aware of the result of those reports?
Yes, I was informed at the hospital that I had been tranquilized. Yes.
Objection, facts not in evidence.
Is
and also objection hearsay to the contents of that. I'm fine with him answering if he.
This
was
is testimony.
informed, but not with him saying what was the information.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, it wasn't in evidence. They didn't accept it to be in evidence because it was too late, even though we only had like 1 or 2 days to prepare all the evidence from the medical report.
No further question, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Romanov, you can step down. Final witness for the defense, I believe, is Mr. Skingerton. Is that correct?
Wait, didn't ask me about the food truck
Yes, Your
event.
Honor.
All right, Zaceed, you're up.
Oh, you guys didn't ask me about the food truck event. I'm a little bit sad, to be honest. It's all good, though.
A lot of it would have been hearsay since you weren't there directly. For
I was at
thought you were.
the helicopters flying at the sky.
Well, I mean, you were there at the end, but.
Hey, Your Honor, there's no DOC. I can swear him in if you want. Can you raise your left hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury, so help you God?
Okay,
I
that's
do.
fine.
Swear in,
Alright.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Your witness, Maya.
Alrighty, can you state your full name and occupation for the record?
Zaceed Skengerton, and occupation apparently is lapdog.
No, because that would be inconvenient to their case.
Okay. Alrighty, let's talk about People's A, which is the
Guys, please keep it down if you guys can.
kidnapping into OIS. Where were you in the events that occurred on the 2nd of June 2023?
That would I don't recall.
You don't recall? Alrighty. Let's jog your memory. Your DNA was found on scene at an officer-involved shooting on the Miriam Turner overpass.
Are you testifying or asking a question?
Yeah. I'm just pointing out evidence and seeing whether that would jog his memory.
Okay, well, that's not how that works. You can use it to impeach him by saying, do you see the report? Do you see this in the report? But you do not just get to say things.
Okay. Let me find a photo of this here. Second.
Your Honor, could we ensure that the witness is aware of his Fifth Amendment rights?
the lawyers why they haven't asked. If
Just,
they can prove
you
he's
know,
hostile.
I'm
Do you
sure
think
that
he's
the
a co-conspirator?
I can't hear you. There's too many people talking.
Seen this guy's record? He knows him better than you do.
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, well, you
Bro,
know,
there's
sometimes you got to double check.
too many people talking in this courtroom right now.
I've had crims say to me, "No, I don't know. You never read my rights." I'm like, "You've got a list
for me, even though I've done it enough myself.
Mike, will you please?
Scene, blah blah blah. Can you see that your blood was found on scene?
I want to hear the case, not hear people talking behind
Why
me.
does Lyng look like he?
Number one, and following.
Like if Anakin never got burned on Mustafa, I thought it would be like Darth Vader's outfit.
Yes, you can just go with number 2 or 3. Even number 1 shows it.
There was so much.
What's up, Ray?
Hello.
Oh, more of Mike talk.
Yeah, Buddha does look like a Civ character. It's actually funny.
I think you must see his go dog.
Mentally stuck?
Yes, I'm fucking frozen right now. I don't know why.
Mr. Zaceed, do you have access to the evidence provided by the people?
Yeah. You probably have to give me a little bit a while to find it because I'm a bit slow with that stuff, but I do have it, I think. Is it the one on the government website?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Race, how do you think it's going so far?
Are you able to open
I think
the people's
obviously I'm gonna get crimes
2 or II.
like kidnapping and attempted murder and etc like that, but it still doesn't fit with Coop's law yet. So we'll see. That's my personal opinion. Yes, I'm guilty, but yeah, I was guilty nonetheless of crime. But am I guilty of Coop's law? I don't think so yet, but we'll see. Like, yeah, I'm guilty as fuck for kidnapping people and shooting them and shooting cops. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you able to see Rust OIS number 2?
What's Coop's law? Multiple capital level punishment or crimes. So like multiple terrorism or combined combination of terrorism and serious assaults and killing and another one or something. Does that make sense, chat? That's what Coop's law is. I've committed multiple capital level crimes, which is.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I've done that.
I was being stupid. Yeah, I've got it right here.
Can you see the police evidence on that picture?
I can see it. Yep.
Are you aware that your blood is
just
on that scene?
Objection leading.
Can you see your blood on scene?
I see blood. I don't know whose it is.
Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure they're labeled by the police.
No, those are not labeled.
Can I just ask why?
Yeah, I don't know whose blood that is.
Let's just
because he's gonna get objected all day long.
Let's just ask the witness about what he sees, and then direct him to maybe the other parts of the evidence in the report. Does that work?
Sure. Let me try another approach. At the day of that incident, were you anywhere near La Puerto, Dutch London Street?
I don't recall actually.
That's okay. That's all right.
Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as
Yeah,
hostile.
he's inherently hostile. Go ahead. For the court's benefit, that means that Hayes can ask leading questions now.
Oh. Oh, hell yeah.
Give him a cook.
Nice.
Did you have any interaction with Lyng Buddha that day?
Everything.
I don't recall actually.
Yeah, here it goes. I don't recall. Worst memory in history.
Just send me up, bro. Fine. Send me up.
You gotta have a little bit more faith in our lawyers, man.
Let's go to the people's eye. The Cerberus shooting.
So much.
Were you present that day at the Cerberus Center?
me a second to pull this up. Okay, I've got it. Can you repeat the question?
Were you present at the service center during that
I don't
encounter?
recall.
I don't recall.
Yep, there it is. This fucking
How
rat.
come your blood wasn't seen?
Wasn't this whole
Don't
party
recall.
scene?
Okay, in the People's D, the Manor shooting.
Which one? Sorry, People's D?
D, yes. It's like Dora.
On it.
Yep, I got that one.
Actually,
Why were you at the Clean Manor?
a witness? Kiwi, a witness claiming this? Claiming I do not recall it every single
I don't
was
recall.
way worse for them than him just saying.
Why
it.
was your blood found?
Yeah, this is actually not bad for us, guys. Him saying all this is actually
Yeah, he doesn't recall, man.
this
kind of
is
drugs?
not actually bad for us at all. If he keeps saying I don't recall, he literally
My apologies.
They can impeach him if he.
Why were you found with Lang Buddha's
Perjury. Let's go.
legal firearm?
So you do.
I don't recall. I don't know.
Cooking. Oh, he doesn't recall.
it's your witness, guys. Witness tennis
What do
it
you
can be used
think
on
you've
both
seen?
sides.
I actually don't recall.
Bro is
So was he there or does he not recall? There's a difference.
Hayes might as well say I don't recall.
Yo, Hayes, ask him what his favorite brand.
You
of
got
dog
family
food
in
is.
town.
I do not recall.
Yeah.
Objection relevance to that. Sorry, I was stuck in my.
Hey, he answered.
Yeah.
Who's your family?
Oh.
I don't recall.
All right, here's I'm gonna put this.
What in the
Mr. Skingerton. If your intent is to state that you do not recall or you don't remember to everything that is asked, then I would politely encourage you to simply plead the fifth and give me some of these days of my precious few I have left back. Okay.
But
Drugs?
This is only for incriminating shit.
Are you pleading the fifth?
There might be a question I might be able to answer. There might be one or something I could help with.
Bro,
All right, let's forge ahead then.
Oh, this is losing it over there, bro. I can feel it.
Shrugs.
He's allowed to answer.
Shrugs. I don't recall.
One moment, Your Honor. Is there any question we can debate?
Why are you guys against Zaceed? I thought you were cool with
I do not
Seaside.
recall.
Yes, Zaceed of Seaside, very famous member of Seaside, actually.
I really don't know. I didn't look at any of the
What's your
stuff.
name?
Hey, Maya.
I do not recall.
Do we
really
have a
didn't-
question to bait him out? I do not recall.
Can you ask him if Harry Brown's his father?
Probably. He knows his family. But
Has he met the mayor before? Has he met Harry before?
Hey, where you going, Lang? Hang around.
is Harry Brown your father?
I don't recall.
I'm so.
Okay, for your sanity, Your Honor.
Get off
Motion to
the
strike-
fucking witness stand. Get out of here.
Your Honor, I don't recall what you asked.
Go. Get your ass in the gallery.
Come on, Zaceed, before you get contempt, let's go.
So how about
Let's
Use
go.
it in a sentence.
This guy.
Definition of I don't recall.
I need contempt for bingo. I need contempt for bingo.
I recall that I don't recall.
All right.
Fuck.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. I would put you in for contempt, but feel like that'd just
Sorry,
be
sir.
adding to the
Sorry,
clown
sir.
show.
Oh, he just said I don't recall to literally everything.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We need
Honestly,
to believe
that's good
that
for us.
PD
Yeah, I would say that's not bad for
catalogs
us.
that evidence. The GSR test.
For your RP's been so
of
far.
Lyng Buddha.
Sorry if your lawyers are throwing. Guys, listen.
The gun found on Lyng Buddha.
I don't want you guys to be toxic to the
and
lawyers
the
because
casings unseen.
remember this, chat. lawyers are not supposed to be try hard. Like they're not real lawyers. These guys are just practicing to RP as,
All right,
as
anything
lawyers.
else?
No, Your Honor.
So I don't care if they're like
Okay, let's
throwing
move
that
on
much.
to closings then. Are we prepared to move forward?
It is what it is, man.
I am,
If
Your
they-
Honor.
If they're not doing great, it is what it is. Just don't flame them. They're trying their best. Like a lot of the interpretations left to Crane at the end of the day anyway.
Your
So
Honor, could we have 5 minutes, please?
That shit, don't I?
so guys, can we come over here for a second? Come over. So the reason I wasn't asked about the Rooster's Rest incident because
Hey, yo, what up,
I was told I wasn't there. Now, are you guys aware that there's 2 Rooster's Rest incidents, right?
The one that led to the kidnapping and OIS, and then the one charge ups, right?
Yeah, that one is what I'm referring to. The one that led to the thing in the
Tell that old ass man to sit down.
McGregor. The one that I'm referring to is the fucking
The charge up shit.
yeah. So the cargo bomb I wasn't there for, but the helicopters flying up the sky, blowing up Shrugway trucks, or not, all
Wait,
the cars.
is that not the cargo bomb? Wait, is this 2 separate?
They're 2 separate ones. I was asking guys. I was asking my lawyers to please ask me about it so I can tell you guys what was going on. I was there. I was a witness to literal helicopters flying on top of like cars and blowing up the place
Wait,
where
this
the
separate
entertainment was.
incident ain't in here then.
Yeah, I know. They fucked up. They added both incidents to one. That's why I was saying, why didn't you guys ask me about that? Because I could have spoken
Oh
about
no,
it.
we assumed that this was the same incident. If it's 2 separate, then we
I
don't have
literally
it.
didn't know.
Oh, I kept asking. I was sitting there on the stand. I'm like, I really hope they ask me about this so I can tell them that like literal Cerberus was dropping helicopters on top of Rust, blowing up our vehicles.
Yeah, sorry about that. Based on what was reported, I thought it was all one incident.
No. There's a reason I kept saying, please ask me about it. Like, I need you guys to ask me about this. What it is what it is.
Report numbers?
No, it's the same report number because they're idiots. Cops don't know how to do their job. Remember, we found.
LSA shooting. No, it's the LSA shooting.
Yeah,
no?
we kind of got fucked by bad paperwork here because
Yeah, so we found them at LSIA. We literally have a picture of the car at LSIA at the rental hangar with Speedy there. We literally fucking.
all right, we know about that incident.
Yeah, that's the same one. Yeah.
Yeah, like right below. We only
Wait, this
went
started
there.
from Roosters?
We only went down to the LSIA because there was fucking
Helicopters landing at
our
yeah.
event.
Yeah, well, hey,
Jesus.
ED were very selective with this report then because
I mean, all
Yeah.
the PD was there at the fucking event.
Yeah, the
and,
police officers saw me and other Rust members there at the event. I literally said hi to Brian Knight and Sam Bass.
and they never made the link.
All right.
And then the
well,
funny thing
we
is,
can,
they actually
they didn't want to make.
they
the list.
tried.
Yeah.
They tried to. Guys, can you please stop talking about? I'm talking to my lawyers, guys. I'm sorry.
Also, our lawyers.
Yes, so not you guys, the other people in the back. But so I was just referring to it. I'm like, hey, listen, that was a big incident, and then another thing that happened there is that Bass tried to end the event like 3 times, or twice.
Wait, why is none of this in the reports?
Because they didn't write that in the report, but I could have commented on it.
Yeah, they didn't want to.
So
I was one of the officers also said that they checked the fucking rental logs and they found Lyng Buddha renting all 3 helicopters. So
yeah, that's the thing. When you guys started asking me about the Rooster Reef incident, that was just more incriminating than if you just asked me about the Rooster Rest thing. I could have easily talked about that, But hey, to each, I guess it's fine. I was just curious.
Too late
yeah,
now.
I was trying to.
It's too late. Don't even worry
get
about
to
it.
the point.
No,
where
it's all
we
good.
we wanted you to mention Lang's car, and Lang being there. That's what I was trying to get at.
Which one, Lyng cars? Yeah, but Lyng's car was also at the rental hangar at the Rooster Rest event.
and that was the evidence. I think
That was the biggest
That-
one.
They
Yeah, but that was the
le-
evidence we didn't have, so we didn't know why you wanted us to ask, and we didn't know that the cargo bob and the helicopters were separate.
Okay, that's fair. Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I could tell you because you guys were like saying you weren't there for the cargo. I was like, yes, but I was there for the helicopters flying at the sky. They literally parachuted helicopters on top of the trucks.
Oh, you see, corruption. Mr. Lyng is paying Crane right now.
Hey, can I ask? Did anyone clear up where my attempted first-degree murder charge came from?
Okay, I added
I
something.
Here's the thing.
Did you hear what I did you hear what I said by the way?
Yeah,
Hayes?
but I will get convicted for it based
No.
because they were effectively being represented through
trying
Raymond. Like if he's
Multi-
guilty, then
yeah,
we're all
you're
guilty.
fine. Get ready for your
That's
test,
the way
man.
this
All right,
trial
it's
is
not
set up.
important.
Oh,
All right, let's
not
go.
like that.
Ignore it. Yeah.
Yes.
Let him do
Beyond
something.
the reasonable doubt, they gotta prove it.
But I don't even.
Excuse me, sorry.
All right, we're gonna move into closing arguments. We will begin once
Yo,
again
thank you,
with
Z.
the
Appreciate it.
prosecution.
Right, Your Honor, I do apologize. This is a bit long, but it is all important. Your Honor, today we presented to you a case that
Corruption.
is clear-cut. Through evidence and testimony, we have
Literal
shown that
corruption.
there is no
I am
one
watching
but the
corruption.
defendants who could have committed the crimes set before you today. Through being
Yo,
apprehended
prize fighter
on
with the 5
scene
gifted.
after
Thank
a
you.
shootout with officers, through empirical DNA evidence
Thank you,
following such a shootout, or through the possession of a firearm as it links to further crime. They openly talk in their phone records about the very people they would attempt to kidnap or kill. Their blood is scattered across scenes, left coating casings left by their illegal guns that they would later be found in the possession of.
That'd be a lot of legal guns.
Hell, Your Honor, there's photos of them pouring petrol. 1 second, Your Honor. I
Bro,
am terribly.
slam
1 second.
poetry, man. What is happening right now?
Prize fighter, thank you the 5 gifted. Appreciate it though. Alleged man.
My apologies, Your Honor.
That's what I said.
Where was I?
Yeah, the new lawyers.
Hell, Your Honor, there's photos of them
mayor's
pouring petrol
sarcasm.
in an attempt to light vehicles on fire. One of the very definitions of criminal use of explosives. Not to mention their attempts to run from justice, with Bruno Brown and David Jackson ignoring summons by the Chief Justice, and Achez Perez running from his bail hearing. Not the action of people who believe they're innocent. That said, many of us knew coming into this case that their guilt was never really up for any true discussion. The defense would have you believe all the defendant's actions were justified because of the actions of other actors, but fails to actually clear their clients of any of their crimes accused. There has been no doubt, reasonable or not, presented by my counterparts. They attempted to push a narrative that this was a back and forth, but that has no bearing on the question of sentencing at hand. In fact, all they brought was victim-blaming questions and comments, suggesting that businesses should have shut down or moved their meetings under the threat of violence. Though their client's guilt is not what they truly wish to argue here today, is it? No, we are here to argue our invocation of the Ninth Amendment. For that is really the discussion to be had. Your Honor, during the People's Opening, when we said enough is enough, we meant it. The people of this state are sick and tired of being used as play toys and shooting targets for the criminals of this city. Everyone a pawn to those with the money and the gun. It is truly a demoralizing time to be a civilian in San Andreas. Never mind being taken hostage for a
That's the
bank
thing
or
she
having
said,
your car
Gallon.
stolen
Oh, I
for
swear.
some getaway. No, but because of the actions of the defendants, honest people of this state now need to fear for their lives as they work their job, drive to work in downtown Los Santos, or simply try to buy a bite to eat. The members of Rust are attempting to create a dangerous precedent that if you work for someone and should they wrong anyone, you may become a victim of their rampage. This was directly clear in Mr. Romanoff's testimony, in which he referenced the kidnapping of Deputy Mayors Drew and Summers. Is this really the sort of city that we want to live in? One dominated by fear and violence? No, it isn't. As to the recommended sentencing of the Ninth Amendment, it reads applying to the following. Any citizen found guilty of multiple, numerous, and/or continuous instances of heinous, malicious, and/or organized capital-level crimes in the state of San Andreas in a short period of time. Firstly, was it multiple and numerous? The 20 incidents is evidence can certainly be considered such.
20 incidents?
Was it continuous?
I don't know where she's getting 20 incidents from.
Through the
It was three,
original
but
violence
sure.
started in March, or though the original violence started
Think
in
the
March,
separating into like
the number of
scenes,
instances a day
one
would only
incident
duplicate
equals, like,
daily
5 different
as
scenes,
it came to the end of
to
May.
different points.
With the 30th
That's
seeing
right.
5 separate instances in one day.
What the fuck?
The defendants then chose to continue, despite multiple warnings from officers of harsh consequences. Though these may not have been organized capital crimes, they were certainly heinous and malicious ones.
Huh. I don't.
Attempting to bomb the parking lot of one of our state's most recognizable buildings with business employees upstairs, opening fire, as well as bombing a restaurant with civilians outside, shooting in the middle of our busiest roads and motorways.
I'm sorry, what?
Or attempting an assassination of our mayor in the middle of a public airport. All heinous and malicious in their own right.
Bro,
But
what am I
nothing
listening
would
to?
top what the
Yeah, but
civilians
we
of our
didn't
city went
do anything
through.
to counteract that narrative.
Elfy, Lyng, Isabella Carver, thrown off the top of a building. This before Elfy was taken to the top of that same building a month later, forced to play a torturous, sick game with her friend Danny, only to have full-size aircraft crash into them both. Elfy once again shot in the middle of a busy street.
Why are you confused? Because
whilst riding
she's
with
lying
Diane,
on the stand. But I mean, it's her job. But Jesus,
Zeke Haysom, and
that's not a
Chuck
stand.
Clark
But yeah.
Mason. Mason, who would then be taken and tortured after he was already set ablaze by the group a few weeks prior. Jaden Sawyer, injured in the explosion of the cargo bob at Roosters. Alexander Yang, not only shot outside of her place of employment at Roosters Rest, but shot again when working at the Reef. And of course, let us not forget our two lovely deputy mayors, both shot at, injured, and harassed during this entire conflict. All of it culminating in their kidnapping. Not just taken from their own businesses as assailants shot their employees, but also thrown in handcuffs into the back of a car as the defendants fled from police. The police meticulous in their shooting as to not injure them, only for David Jackson to run out of fuel and crash out.
Rust attack themselves, yeah.
But his
That's all
attacks
good.
on
Amy crashed out, bro.
I didn't crash.
Now, as he was fleeing on foot, engaging with gunfire with officers, he made the conscious decision to turn around. Nancy and Eve cuffed in the back of the seat of a smoking car. And as Jackson looked at them, he didn't look at them with mercy. No. He chose violence. He chose to shoot both of them execution style, leaving to bleed out and hoping that officers would get to their side before it was too late. This was malicious.
Wait, you said hoping, which means we wanted them to live.
So
which means
clearly
we're
can apply.
saved.
But
Let's
we
go.
offer a new solution. Your Honor, can I ask that
Dumb.
the members of the audience be quiet because it's getting distracting at this point?
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you.
This is malicious and heinous. So very clearly, Coops can apply. But we offer a new solution. Something that can nip this specific problem in the bud. Coops is outdated, too vague. Though it may be the best that we have for this set of circumstances,
lawyer fell in
ensure that this type of problem is handled with the severity it deserves every single time. For these types of repeated attacks on civilians and businesses, we ask for a new charge. Stops law, or spelled out, serial threats and offenses of public safety. Something that is akin to serious assaults and killings, but specifically focused for matters of public display and danger. Both handle matters.
Yeah, I really
where
hope they don't
the
retroactively
victims
apply a law
are
to us.
unwilling participants to the violence. But whereas SAC is very intimate,
Are we making history?
specific, stops would be for those cases where a large number of civilians are physically and or mentally harmed through the actions of the accused at places of work or in public. For it's different for a killer to lure their prey to their woods and stab them than it is for a gang member to mow down the working class in broad daylight.
Harry Brown?
This would also ensure that SAC is left for serial killers, protecting the DOJ's notorious sniff test. This would also incorporate tax against medical staff in hospital, which is currently held under terrorism. The medical neutrality point of the charge always feeling odd when it didn't involve political or religious motives. Stops law would be about the infliction of such terror, but without those aforementioned motives. Let this new idea simmer in the mind of your honors. But as it does, we ask you to consider those this group has left in their wake. From death games, top maze bank, to handcuffed executions, this group has shown no mercy. This gang's actions remind me of a large-scale clan in the video game Rust. The type that would bully the poor Paddlephone as they snipe them. the kind of group that requires the whole region to band together just to protect the
Ain't no fucking
Your
way!
Honor, the only way that we can stop this malicious plan is to deliver a message. And that's by sending them back to the beach with their rocks. Thank you.
Yo,
goddamn.
To yourself and
I think it's going
Good work, Odessa. My God.
Or she just claimed it was roof campus, right?
Yeah, she claimed
Say
it
about that, man.
was campus.
Compare this to the game Rust.
Fucking roof campus.
Official statement of
Silence,
Rust
please.
No,
2.0.
I'm obviously keep. I'm
guys,
tagging her first.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court.
They want to
we've
make a
heard
new
testimony
law.
From the prosecution's witnesses that all of this began with the torture of a Rooster's Rest employee and the subsequent banning of members of Rust from the establishment. However, the real beginning of the violence that the prosecution is concerned with took place at Clean Manor. Both Mr. Buddha and Mr. Romanoff were residents of the manor at the time of the meeting on the 26th. Yet Mr. Buddha was the one who set up the meeting and determined the location in an effort to set up an ambush for Mr. Romanov and other Rust members. Mr. Romanov came to the meeting looking to understand Mr. Buddha's point of view and agreed to meet with Mr. Buddha and Mr. Brown inside the manor, only accompanied by his son Maxine. Before the meeting could get fully underway, Mr. Romanov was tranquilized and handcuffed. He was left defenseless inside the manor as his friends and son were callously gunned down in the yard by Mr. Buddha, Mr. Brown, and other people connected to the Cerberus Corporation. As they tried to pick up fallen friends and escape with their lives, Mr. Skengerton bypassed police officers at the gate and entered the property in an attempt to murder Mr. Romanov and others. Mr. Skengerton, who Mr. Romanov testified is a known associate of Mr. Buddha and the son of Mr. Brown, fled police and shot down several members of the United Police Department, yet he is not facing charges and the Ninth Amendment in court today. Mr. Buddha, Mr. Brown, and other Cerberus employees staged an ambush against my clients at Mr. Romanov's own home, yet they are not facing charges and the Ninth Amendment in court today either. The lack of a similar case on the docket for Cerberus shows malicious prosecution and a clear bias on the part of the UPD and the state attorney's office toward my clients. We would also like to note that some of the charges brought forward have no merit. Prosecution claims the use of explosives when there is not even circumstantial evidence. Furthermore, the prosecution is pressing multiple attempted first-degree murders on the defendant when there is no evidence for malice of forethought or
Damn, she's good at
premeditation.
speaking.
Specifically, we refer to reports number 83410 and report 83654.
She's very good at like speaking, like I don't know how to say it, like rhetoric, I guess you could say. I kind of followed everything she said. But let's see if it holds up.
Broken? Hello?
We can't hear you for speaking anymore.
Ma'am.
Sorry. Let me try that again. Based on the evidence provided through testimony and police reports, both Rust and Cerberus bear some responsibility for the escalation of events, and we seek to ensure a just and equitable outcome for this case. That is why we ask the court to reject the sentencing requests made by the prosecution regarding the Ninth Amendment and to honor the established times and fines set forth therein for any crimes my clients are found guilty of. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I want to thank everyone for their participation, their testimony. There's a lot to get through. I think, there's many times where we have cases in this courtroom, and in fairness to the people to my right, your left, there are many times we can criticize the PD for not doing their due diligence, not putting an effort on a case, not, investigating enough. There are many times that might be able to be argued. I don't think that can be argued here. It seems like, at least from the evidence I have in front of me, there is a hell of a lot of work that went into assembling and presenting this case. Also on the defense's side, I think there were a lot of good arguments made. And even as an defense attorney, even if sometimes your motions don't succeed, you are sort of chipping away at that wall. So I do thank both sides for their efforts. I will say the following, and this should not be a surprise to anyone given the stakes in this case. This case is not just about this situation in front of us. This is not just about, Rust and Cerberus and the mayor and deputy mayors and Miss Lyng and all the other individuals involved. This is about
Miss Lyng?
Standards and protocols of how things are dealt with in this city. You may have keenly noted that the prosecutor even tried to
Lyng.
suggest a new case law in their closing. We have had legislative proposals submitted. There are many people interested in the outcome of this case. In order for me to get through all this evidence and come to a decision that I think fairly represents the interests of everyone in this city, this decision will not happen today. I am not going to be able to go back there and tell you guys to just hang on. Surely I'll get through it in an hour. So that's impossible. I'm not going to, blow smoke.
It sounds like there's a new law that's going to be written, chat.
So
that's why he's
this
saying that.
verdict will be delayed until at least tomorrow around the same time. This will give me the time I need to go through everything, review legislative proposals, speak to former and current justices regarding coups, as well as, obviously look at all the evidence pertaining to these specific charges. So I thank y'all for your patience, and I hope you will continue to extend that patience to me as I spend the next day or so deliberating. What I will say is the following. Due to the fact that I am taking a day to deliberate, I will consider any actions that happen in that day. So if I wake up tomorrow and I found out, that any of the defendants or anyone else involved in this case has continued these hostilities, one-sided or otherwise, that will affect how I deal with the legislation.
So Russ is screwed without saying Russ is screwed?
I will
not
consider
particularly.
anything
I'll go
that
into what he
occurs.
said.
I'm telling you that right now. Keep
I'll tell you
your
what it
noses
is.
clean. Give the justice system the time to do its job. Give me that bare modicum of respect. Thank you.
Your Honor, question. As it pertains to defendants Perez and Jackson, who were never granted bail, what is the decision there on their release or remand in Bolingbroke?
I'm going to keep them released under the agreement that if they are found guilty, they will turn themselves in.
Yes.
Nah.
Wait.
You say no?
No, I don't know who that is. I said no. I don't know who that is.
That's the media behind me. Yeah.
Okay,
Good with that.
understood.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then we'll be good to,
Garrett, what are you
to
doing?
proceed with them staying released. Thank you.
Fucking Garrett.
I didn't say anything.
I'm gonna kick you.
It was Garrett. All right, anyway, thank you, Your Honor. It sounds like he's going to be making some sort of new law or deliberating with justices to making a new law, right?
I'm going home and driving my Black Series.
Oh my shit. Who dropped the pipes, man?
Broke that. You're gonna buy it now.